Stephen's here with business, starting in the US once again today. Details are emerging of Volkswagen's latest settlement. This is over the emissions cheating scandal.
The German car maker is to pay over $1.25 billion to 80,000 owners of its 3-litre diesel cars in the United States. Court documents seen by Reuters say the proposal would also see auto supplier Robert Bosch pay almost $330 million. Now, the money will either pay for repairs or to buy back the affected cars, and on top of that, owners will get compensation of between $7,000 and $16,000 each. Now, a judge will hold a hearing to decide whether or not to approve these settlements on February 14th.
How's that affecting Volkswagen shares then, Stephen?
Shares up in Frankfurt today at the open, not by an awful lot, but a little bit of a sense that perhaps this is one more of the long-standing legal difficulties that Volkswagen has over this scandal being resolved. Generally speaking, as you can see, shares in Europe opening up. The Frankfurt DAX up over 1%. In France, car makers Peugeot, Citroën and Renault both starting the day in the green. That's after latest strong car registration figures here in France. A mixed picture over in the Asian markets. We've got gains in Tokyo, the Nikkei up by around 0.5%. In India, the finance minister has unveiled his latest budget for the year. They're going to slash the basic rate of income tax to just 5%. Shares in Mumbai trading up by 1%, as you can see.
Now, next, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's claims that other countries are manipulating their currencies.
The US president has accused China and Japan of artificially devaluing their currencies to make their exports more competitive. Then his trade advisor went even further, accusing Germany of controlling the value of the euro. Tokyo and Berlin have rejected the charges, as Alexander Hurst now reports.
When Donald Trump looks out at the world, he sees currency manipulators around every corner. He has often taken aim at China and Japan.
You look at what China's doing, you look at what Japan has done over the years. They play the money market, they play the devaluation market, and we sit there like a bunch of dummies.
Just added to the list, Germany, by Trump's top trade advisor, Peter Navarro, who told the Financial Times that Germany was using a grossly undervalued euro to exploit the US and its EU partners. German Chancellor Angela Merkel was quick to hit back against that idea.
Germany has always supported the independence of the European Central Bank in making policy. Therefore, we have no influence over the choices made by the ECB.
In fact, Germany has historically been resistant to policies that would boost inflation in the Eurozone, like those now adopted by the ECB. Japan has also struggled with harmfully low inflation for years, and under Shinzo Abe's government has fought to raise it to the 2% target generally accepted by central banks, including the U.S. Federal Reserve.
Japan's monetary easing policy aims to achieve the domestic purpose of ending deflation. It is not aimed at affecting currency rates.
And China, which once did seek a weak currency in order to boost exports, has spent hundreds of billions of dollars from its foreign reserves in the past year to support the value of the renminbi in order to prevent an exodus of money from leaving the country.
Alexander Hurst. Next to Hong Kong, the mystery of a Chinese billionaire. He's disappeared, hasn't he?
This is the financier Zhao Xinhua, who was last seen taken from the Four Seasons Hotel by Chinese security agents on Friday, when he was then brought to mainland China. Now, Mr. Xiao is one of China's richest men. He controls an investment company called the Tomorrow Group, which is based in Beijing. He moved to Hong Kong in 2014, though, but denied that it was to escape a corruption crackdown by President Xi Jinping. He hasn't been seen since Friday. Many media reports in China saying that he was taken back to the mainland. But an advertisement has appeared in a Hong Kong newspaper today attributed to him, claiming that he wasn't kidnapped and that he was being treated for an illness overseas. So no clear indication of where that man exactly is, but a lot of people are looking for him.
Yeah, that's a very, very strange story. Okay, thanks, Stephen. Let's go to Apple now. Some good news in their results.
The company's revenues hit a record high in the last 3 months of 2016, boosted by sales of the iPhone 7. The Christmas period is usually a good one for Apple. It comes after the launch of their new products announced in September. It sold a record 78 million iPhones over the quarter. Sales of Apple's flagship product have been slowing down in recent months. It led to the firm reporting its first drop in annual revenue in 15 years last year.
And Stephen's going to keep putting smiles on our faces. Another good news story for you. This is if you're a mobile phone user in Europe.
The European Union has finally done a deal to pave the way to abolish roaming charges from June of this year. This after an agreement was reached to cap the fees that telecoms companies pay each other when customers use their mobile phones abroad. Data was the most controversial aspect of this deal. That's going to be capped for telecoms firms at €7.70 a gigabyte this year. That'll fall to €2.50 in 2022. Now, the EU has been racing to try and implement its promise to abolish roaming charges. Its initial proposal last year was met with much public criticism, so it went back to the drawing board, went back to the telecoms companies, and it looks like now they've come to a deal.
Just in time for the summer holidays.
Indeed.
That's good news. Thank you very much.